Good afternoon, gentlemen. The commish here with your Week 1 recap. I know it's been a few weeks since we spoke, but I figured it was time to reconnect because I'm afraid some of us may have taken our eyes off the prize. Just to remind you, some quick reinforcement here. This is where we're headed. Everyone moving in the same direction toward a common goal. Here I am yesterday, minding my own business, enjoying a nice Monday afternoon, and I get a text. This text says if he wins the league, he's going to trade his first round pick next year for whoever comes in last place's second round pick. I'm going to let that sink in for a minute. He's going to give somebody 2 picks in the first round, and he's basically daring us to beat him. If that doesn't convince you he's the enemy, I don't know what will. I have no idea what's going to get you focused on this. Then, of course, he goes on to make fun of me because I picked LeGarrette Blount. LeGarrette Blount only picked up 1 point, for those of you who aren't initiated. Is that my fault? Absolutely not. I know the Bucs are supposed to run. The Bucs forgot they need to run the ball. Not my fault. It's your fault, Fogel. Fix it. If that sort of arrogance, condescension doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will. I'm sorry. Moving on. Let's get into the first game. First game of the week, we'll start with the champ, of course. The champ puts the shellacking down on poor Zoe. Necessary? I don't think so. Zoe scores 119. You decide you need to score 170. 120 would have done the job. You didn't need to go all the way and keep going, pouring it on. You don't kick a man while he's down. It's not necessary. I'm sorry, Zoe. I apologize for him because I'm sure you will not get an apology from him. No one deserves that. No one at all. If we're not convinced he's the enemy, there's a little bit more fuel for the fire. His entire team showed up. Everybody except like his kicker showed up for that game. My hope, personally, is that they've wasted their entire load on week 1 and won't show up for the rest of the season. I know that's probably not the case, but I can dream. Moving on. Second game. Second game. Back by popular demand. Run by Cooper. Smacking down Lou's B Squad, otherwise known as Rick's team. Coop, the logo is genius. I love it. I borrowed your swagger a little bit. I hope you don't mind. But I love the logo, and I love that you destroyed the B team. So your A team put up 170. Your B team put up 106. So that averages out to 138 points. He can be beaten, people. He's not a machine. He's a man. Moving on. Next game. We got the Buckheads and the Cap Guns. 2 very strong teams. This game could have gone either way. Just so happened the Buckheads had a strong Monday night and they pulled it out. Good job. Almost the same deal with the Whip Crackers and the Destroyers. 2 very strong outings. Lots of points being scored. Who would have known Steve Smith outdoes Larry Fitzgerald? I didn't know it, and I'm sure nobody else knows it. There's no way I pull Larry Fitzgerald for Steve Smith. Maybe now I do, but you couldn't have won that game. So, take heart in knowing you scored a lot more points than a lot of people. Which brings us to our final game of the week. Duck Phallus Nation hosting the Evil Empire. This game has particular interest to me, but probably not for the reason you think. I gave my draft day challenge to the entire league, and it was well received, and everyone was listening. I thought everyone was listening. Now, as I run through the events in my mind, perhaps one of us wasn't listening. Seem to recall on draft day someone offering a trade on draft day to the bad guy. Really? Not good. No one. Just doesn't work for me. Alright, you're trying to better your team. I can understand that. If you want to get a better team and you can take away one of his players, cool. We'll take that. Then, draft is over. Immediately after the draft, the Doug Fallis Nation has a gimpy Arian Foster on his team. This person goes out, snatches up Derek Ward. Shame on you. Snatched up Derek Ward. Ricky Williams is still on the waiver wire, by the way. So you tried to cripple my team, you tried to sabotage me, and it didn't work for you. Good thing I had Ben Tate this week, because I would have been pissed if I lost. So I'm going to look the other way on this one, only because you tried to sabotage, and I still ended up winning somehow. Ricky Williams is still out there on the waiver wire. Go sabotage somebody else's team. Team Sosa is up and running. You got Sosa, Coop, you got the Skull. We're ready. We're going after the bad guy. You're either with us or you're with him. Just make your decision wisely. That's all I'm asking. Just be careful. Looking ahead to this week, waiver wire is going to be exploding. People trying to improve their teams. He's got 10th priority on the waiver wire. Just make smart decisions. Make sure you snatch up the players before he has a chance to get to them. Do what you can. Everyone doing their part. We shouldn't have to worry about it again. Everybody stay vigilant. Our task has just begun. Week 1, winners keep winning. People who didn't win wasn't necessarily because you didn't score enough points, just didn't score enough points against the opponent you played. Not a big deal. I don't see a whole lot of tweaks that need to be done. Just make sure you're making smart decisions. This is Commissioner Lindy Smith, leader of the mighty Doug Fallis Nation from Gulfport, out.